The manhwa bursts onto the page with a breathtaking full-page spread. A lone figure battles a raging sandstorm, their tattered cloaks snapping like a war banner in the relentless winds of Alzara. This is Sung Jin-woo, our 19-year-old protagonist, a wanderer with piercing amber eyes that seem to cut through the fabric of time. His face is half hidden by a dusty scarf, and a curved dagger gleams at his hip, its hilt worn from countless battles. The art is peak manhwa, crisp lines, vibrant golds and ochres, and close-ups so vivid you feel the desert's bite. Jinwoo's satchel, slung low, bulges with secrets, hinting at a quest far grander than a mere trek. He stumbles into Yanhwa, a crumbling village of sun-baked clay huts clustered around a dried-up well, its frames splintered like the villagers' fading hope. The locals eye him with suspicion. Strangers are rarer than rain. A panel shows children hiding behind a wall, whispering about the cursed wanderer who dares disturb their dying home. Jinwoo's face remains stoic. He's no stranger to distrust, his gaze locked on the horizon as if chasing a phantom only he can see. The village square is a shadow of its former life. Merchant stalls droop under faded awnings, with merchants bartering wilted herbs and chipped bowls. At the center stands a relic that stops Jinwoo cold, a towering stone pillar etched with swirling, luminescent patterns that pulse under the silvery glow of the Crescent veil, a mystical barrier splitting Alzara's sky, separating the mortal realm from a hidden world of lost power. The veil's shimmer casts an eerie light, and the artist zooms in on Jinwoo's hand, trembling as it traces the carvings, his fingers brushing patterns that feel hauntingly familiar. A sudden flashback hits like a sandstorm. Jagged panels erupt, a caravan ablaze in crimson flames, a woman's desperate scream, and a shadowy figure clutching a glowing crystal. A voice, deep and chilling, whispers, "Find the veil, Jinwoo. It's your destiny." The art is chaotic, smudged lines, muted reds, and fractured borders that make your heart race. Jinwoo snaps back, sweat beading on his brow as a grush shout cuts through, "Step away from the pillar, outsider." Enter Cha Yanwoo, Yanhwa's chief, a towering man with a scarred face and a spear that's tasted more blood than most warriors. His design screams battle-hardened leader, broad shoulders, a tattered cloak, and eyes burning with suspicion. He accuses Jinwoo of being a thief, claiming the pillar is sacred, tied to the veil's protection over Yanhwa. The crowd's murmurs grow hostile, but Jinwoo stays calm, hands raised, his voice steady yet edged with defiance. A close-up of his amber eyes shows a spark of steel. He's no ordinary wanderer. The tension spikes until a young woman steps forward, her presence cutting through the crowd like a blade. Meet Kim Dogja, 17, with braided black hair, a fierce gaze, and a crescent-shaped pendant glinting at her neck. Her outfit is practical, linen tunic, leather bracers, but the pendant screams plot significance. She's Yenwoo's daughter, but there's no trace of fragility. "Father, he's half dead from the desert," she says, her voice sharp enough to hush the crowd. "Let him rest before you judge him." A panel shows Yenwoo's scowl soften, and he grudgingly agrees, ordering Jinwoo to the village inn under guard. Dogja shoots Jinwoo a glance, half curiosity, half challenge, and you know these two are fated to shake things up. The scene closes with a wide shot of Yanhwa at dusk, the veil's silvery glow bathing the village in an otherworldly sheen. Jinwoo's silhouette stands at the inn's window, his journal open to a sketch of the pillar's carvings. A text box reveals his thoughts. "The patterns match the ruins in the east. I'm closer than ever, but why does it feel like I'm not alone?" Night falls, and the art shifts to deep blues and purples, with lanterns casting flickering shadows across Yanhwa's clay walls. Jinwoo's at the inn, a creaky building reeking of dust and faded dreams. He's hunched over his journal, sketching the pillar's carvings with obsessive precision. A double-page spread reveals his notes, maps, cryptic symbols, and a phrase scrawled in the margin. "The veil holds the truth." The pacing slows, immersing us in Jinwoo's solitude. His text boxes hint at his drive. "I've walked this path for years, from one ruin to the next. The veil is the key, but to what?" Dogja slips into the room like a phantom, startling Jinwoo. Her entrance is pure manhwa flair, dynamic angles, her braids swinging as she leans against the doorframe. "You're no ordinary drifter, are you?" she says, eyes locked on his journal. Their banter crackles. Jinwoo's dry sarcasm clashes with Dogja's fiery curiosity. "What's with the pillar? Why risk your life for it?" she presses. Jinwoo smirks. "Some secrets are heavier than a mountain of sand." Dogja's unimpressed, but before she can push further, a blood-curdling scream shatters the night. They sprint to the square where chaos erupts. Shadowy raiders, cloaked figures with glowing red eyes, descend on Yenhua like a plague. The art is electrifying. Jagged panels show raiders vaulting over rooftops, their blades glinting under the veil's light. These aren't mere bandits. Their movements are unnaturally fluid, trails of dark mist swirling behind them. Villagers scatter, their faces twisted in terror, as Yenwu rallies a handful of guards, his spear flashing in a desperate stand. Jinwoo and Dogja dive into the fray, and the action sequence is a manhwa masterpiece. Jinwoo's dagger dances in his hands, each strike precise and lethal, felling a raider in a single fluid motion. A close-up captures his eyes narrowing, calculating every move like a seasoned hunter. Dogja's no less fierce. She wields a staff with the grace of a dancer, cracking skulls and dodging blades. A double-page spread shows them back to back, surrounded by a ring of raiders, their silhouettes framed against the glowing pillar. It's the kind of moment that makes you want to pause and soak in the epicness. The raiders target the pillar, chanting in a guttural language that sends shivers down your spine. Their leader, a towering figure in a hooded cloak named Hyun-cha, holds a crystal pulsing with dark energy, its light casting twisted shadows. Jinwoo spots the crystal and charges, his dagger aimed at Hyun-cha's heart. The art slows, each panel zooming in, Jinwoo's blade, Hyun-cha's glowing eyes, and the crystal's ominous hum. As Jinwoo strikes, the crystal shatters, unleashing a shockwave that knocks everyone back. The pillar blazes with light, and Jinwoo collapses, his mind flooded with a vision. In the vision, a colossal figure in a hooded robe looms over a shattered landscape, the veil crackling behind them. "Swear the oath, wanderer," the figure intones, their voice like thunder across the dunes. The scene shifts to a burning city, screams echoing, and a glimpse of Jinwoo's younger self clutching a bloodied scarf. The vision fades, leaving Jinwoo gasping on the ground, his hands trembling. Dogja drags him behind an overturned cart as the raiders regroup. Hyunwoo is down, blood pooling beneath him, but he's still swinging his spear, defiance carved into every scar on his face. The raiders retreat, vanishing into the desert with unnatural speed. Hyun-cha's parting words echoing, "The veil will fall." The square lies in ruins, burning stalls, shattered pottery, and villagers weeping over the wounded. Dogja kneels by her father, her hand shaking as she binds his wounds. She turns to Jinwoo, her voice sharp. "You know what's happening, don't you? Talk." Jinwoo hesitates, his past a weight he's carried alone. In a raw, gut-wrenching moment, he opens up. "Just a sliver. My family was slaughtered by people chasing the veil's power. I swore an oath to find the truth and stop them. That's why I'm here." He doesn't mention the vision, but his eyes betray a flicker of fear. Dogja's expression softens, but her resolution hardens. She touches her crescent pendant, which pulsed faintly during the attack, and says, "Yenhua's not safe anymore. I'm coming with you." Jinwoo protests she's young, this is his burden, but Dogja's relentless. "This pendant's been in my family for generations," she says, her voice fierce. "It glowed tonight. I'm part of this, like it or not." A panel zooms in on Yenwoo, barely conscious, his hand gripping Dogja's hand. "Go," he whispers. "Protect her, wanderer." Jinwoo clenches his jaw, torn between his lone wolf instincts and Yenwoo's trust. Dawn breaks over Yenhua, painting the sky in hues of gold and crimson. The art lingers on the devastation, charred homes, grieving villagers, and the pillar, now cracked but still glowing. Jinwoo and Dogja prepare to leave, their dynamic already electric. Jinwoo's quiet resolve clashes with Dokja's fiery spirit. She packs a satchel with supplies, tucking her pendant under her tunic, while Jinwoo studies his journal, the pillar's carvings etched into his memory. Yenwoo, bandaged but alive, hands Jinwoo a weathered map, its edges frayed from years of secrecy. Head to the starlit ruins, he says. Answers await, but so does danger older than this desert. The map is a manhwa fan's dream. Cryptic symbols, faded ink, and a path leading to a star-shaped marker deep in the dunes. A close-up shows Jinwoo's fingers tracing the route, his expression a mix of determination and dread. The duo sets out, their silhouettes small against the vast desert. A sweeping panel captures the Crescent veil shimmering in the distance, its light warping the horizon like a mirage. Jinwoo's voiceover carries the weight of his oath. I swore to find the truth, not just for me, but for everyone I've lost. Now I'm not alone, and that might be the riskiest part. Doksha glances at him, sensing his guarded nature, and smirks. You're stuck with me, Wanderer. Deal with it. The final pages dial up the suspense. As they trek through the dunes, a shadow shifts on the distant ridge. A cloaked figure, revealed as Lee Kyun watches, their face hidden, gripping a second dark crystal that pulses like a heartbeat. The art zooms in on the crystal, its light casting an ominous glow, then cuts to Lee Kyung's scarred hand, trembling with purpose. The last panel is a gut punch. A massive sandstorm gathers on the horizon, its shape unnaturally twisted, as if something alive lurks within. To deepen the narrative and keep viewers glued, the manhwa weaves in haunting flashback. As Jinwoo and Doksha camp under the veil's glow, Jinwoo stares into the fire, his mind drifting. The art shifts to sepia tones, showing a younger Jinwoo, maybe 12, running through a vibrant caravan market. His mother, a woman with kind eyes and a scarf like his, hands him a small circular pendant etched with patterns like the pillars. Keep this safe, she says. It's our family's legacy. The flashback turns grim. Raiders with glowing red eyes storm the caravan, their blades merciless. Jinwoo hides, clutching the pendant, as his mother fights, her dagger flashing. A chilling panel shows her falling, blood staining the sand, as a raider rips the pendant from Jinwoo's hands. The voice from his vision echoes, "Find the veil." The flashback ends, with Jinwoo awaking by the campfire, his hand reaching for the empty space at his neck. Doksha notices his unease, but holds back from prying, barely. Instead, she shares her own story, her voice soft yet firm. "My mother gave me this pendant before she vanished," she says, touching the crescent at her neck. "She said it was tied to Yeonhwa's survival. I thought it was just a tale, until tonight." The art lingers on their faces, lit by the fire, their shared pain forging a fragile bond. The chapter closes with a wide shot of their campsite, the veil's light casting long shadows, and a faint hum in the air, as if the desert itself is watching.